Young lad, here, I don't suppose you could help me at all?
How
about for a shiny coin, eh?
Maybe.
I thought so. Now, my name's Robert Thompson. And yourself? Not to worry. I take it you're local to this area?
Aye.
Excellent. Now, I'm on something of an adventure along this coast here. Staithes last week, Whitby this week. Now I'm off towards whatever's south. Is that your town, Robin Hood's Bay, is it?
Baytown, it's called. Don't know what Robin Hood's got to do with it.
Oh, well, me neither. Baytown. Excellent. Now, I don't suppose you've seen any dragons down there, along the coast? The stone beasts, monsters in the earth.
I should get on.
Oh, no, hold on a moment. Do you know what this is?
Aye.
Well? There are no wrong answers?
Massive Billy Baker.
Oh, well, I must confess, I've not heard them called that before.
Curl up when you touch them.
Yes, wood lice. Now, I can certainly see the similarity. This, however, is a trilobite. Do you know how old this funny little fellow is?
No.
250 million years old. Imagine that, eh? I dug it out of the earth. The stone. Now, do you know where's best around here for finding more of these old, Billy Bakers?
Aye.
And where would that be?
Down Bogle.
Oh, excellent. And where's that?
Just South Baytown.
Ah, fantastic. And here's that coin. Off to play with some friends, is it? Maybe mess around with some of those creepy old scarecrows?
No.
Oh, I see. Well, anyway, good day to you, young fellow.
You'll see plenty of those stone dragons down there. But you can't take them with you.
Beg your pardon?
Well, you mustn't take them. Those that live in the rocks.
Oh, they're not alive.
No?
No.
Oh, don't matter either way. You can't take them.
Oh, there's local rules, eh?
No, just can't take them. Wouldn't try.
Oh, well, I believe they belong in a museum where people can see them and learn from them.
That's as maybe, but they won't let you. The spirals and the dragons and the old Billy Bakers, I wouldn't take them.
And why's that?
I don't know. I'm just 9. But I know you're not to take them from the rocks to elsewhere, not if you're sensible.
Well, I shall bear that in mind.
Right. I'm off.
Oh, wait, here's another penny for your bother.
No, you're all right.
Well, what an odd child.
The Apocalypse Players present A Residence at the Bay, a Call of Cthulhu 7th edition scenario written by Danann McAleer in the style of M.R. James. With Joseph Chance as Dr. Henry Carrigmuir, Dan Wheeler as Reverend Peregrine McCutcheon, Dominic Allen as Lady Helen Marjorie Barmere Potts, and Danann McAleer as the keeper of arcane lore. Part 3. High and Dry.
So, for a start, as the heavy red sun weighs lower across the horizon, and this waving figure atop the trig point jerks into a wave towards you, and you get a sense of being watched, whether or not you are. Could you all do me a sanity roll, please? Because you've seen a few of these throughout the last day.
I think appropriately I've rolled 6.
I passed.
Appropriately I've rolled 66, which is my exact sanity.
Great.
Yeah, so I think I pale visibly, and I grip that.
Pale visibly. You don't lose any sanity. You. I think both of you instinctively say in your heads, it's a scarecrow, like we've seen on the way up here. Maybe that young kid, the 9-year-old who's had his ear clipped multiple times, put it there as a laugh. Maybe he's trying to freak us out because Lady Marjorie is clipped around the ear so many times. How are you doing, Lady Helen?
Not good. She's failed. A 69 on a 40.
Right. So you lose a point of sanity. Initially you see this figure waving, and the fact that you've been brought here by someone who I think it's safe to say, really, in your truest self, you love, and who you hope loves you, who you know likes you at least, and however that relationship has played out over the years. His absence and then the sudden figure of this raggedy thing waving at you puts it sort of takes your stomach out. It's like you've gone over a bridge too fast in a carriage, and something about the image and what it implies, you can't tell what it is, but you lose a point of sanity. And the scratching, you suddenly all realise, has stopped above you. It seemed to stop at the exact moment you saw the figure out there on the trig point.
I think with the visible paling that I'm doing.
Yes. How are you doing that?
And while I...
Oh, Christ. Give me a colour roll.
The colour out of dice. I'm out of dice. The
Colour out of face, surely.
colour out of face. Oh, Dan, it was such a gift. Such a gift.
Oh.
A great editor. A marvellous improviser. The good Dr. Carragmere, I think involuntarily his hand, it's not an involuntary action that would cost him anything, but involuntarily his hand goes up to his frankly bushy and somewhat overgrown black beard.
Yeah.
And he says, well, look, I don't mean to be rude, but I'd like to put some things into my room, whether I'm going to stay in it or not.
Oh, yes. Can I ask, is your bag still tied around your wrist?
Yes.
To the point where your knuckles are basically white, whether or not you're gripping onto it?
I think they're only white when I grip. It's not in danger of circulation.
Okay.
But I think it's...
but I was wondering if it was still... Yeah. Because you're the only one who's not really checked into your room yet. The others two have.
Yes, I think they have, whereas I was getting receipts. So, effectively, I say, if you don't mind, I'd like to just drop these bags off, make it look like I'm doing what anyone ordinarily would. Shall I meet you back here in, shall we say, 5 minutes?
Of course, that's fine. I will.
He hesitates.
I will consult the good book.
He hesitates all the more, thinking...
Harry Potter.
Thinking, you mean the almanac for 1898 on the digs around the Dorset? Oh, no, he doesn't mean that.
Oh, aye.
He probably means the field guide.
Is it the field guide? It must be the field guide. and then he
Bill Oddie's Guide to Marshlands.
He nods, and he's sort of stroking his face in a slightly unpleasant way, so that his lip smears. And he says, well, look, it might be 10 minutes, actually, more likely. Forgive me. And then he just kind of bolts from the room, gripping that. In fact, as he's gripping the bag, and he comes back in 2 seconds later to pick up his suitcase, says, sorry, and then goes back out.
So do you both sort of watch him leave?
flustered.
I'm still a bit shaken from my view of the window.
Well, do you... Yeah.
Well, I think in this moment of slightly tenuous grip on reality that I have momentarily, I say, No. Oh, Reverend, we've obviously made a mistake. Robert was not in this room. We've got the floor wrong. It must be upstairs. Will you come with me at once?
Lady Marjorie, I'm sure this is the room. I'm not sure why you would want to go upstairs.
Because upstairs must be the room where he had. This is obviously not the room he had, because look, it's completely barren.
Could I do it? Could I do a psychology roll on her to see whether she genuinely believes that we're in the wrong room?
I genuinely love you too, yeah.
Oh, that's very good. Yes, I forgot my psychology wasn't very good, but that's a success, yeah.
Hey. So, well, I mean, it's up to Lady Marjorie, really, to tell you how she appears, I suppose.
She's clearly distracted by something. You get the sense that something is bothering her upstairs, something is calling to her, and she's decided that it must be some hunch about Robert Thompson, but honestly, it could be that scratching noise. Her eyes kind of wander over the ceiling a few times. We should go upstairs at once. Find Robert.
Well, I don't believe he is upstairs. I think it's most likely he left this place, but
some sign of him. Some sign of him.
Well, I don't think it's really our place to go knocking on doors and snooping around this guest house. It wouldn't really be appropriate. It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be godly.
Pish tosh.
He puts his hand on his Bible and picks it up.
Well, if you are quite happy living a woman of my age, unassisted, going up the stairs, then so be it. And I waddle out of the room.
As she waddles out of the room, Peregrine, do you take another glance out the window or anything?
Oh, for fuck's sake! I don't want to. Now.
Don't. If your character doesn't want to.
Well, I mean, I think I probably do.
You didn't lose any sanity, so you've convinced yourself it was a scarecrow anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to follow her out of the room, but before I do, I'll just take a second glance out the window.
So as you do, you realise that the sun's still setting. It's still like a sort of golden orb just above the horizon. There's nothing on top of the trig point.
Must have been some kind of optical illusion. Maybe a large crow or something just casting a shadow.
Your perspective might be off, but it seemed about 6 foot tall, so...
Well, maybe a sea eagle.
Maybe an albatross.
So, I say, Lady Marjorie... Wait for me, I'll accompany you, although I have my doubts whether she'd be able to make it upstairs by herself.
So, as Lady Marjorie is followed up the thin flights of stairs, should we cut back to Dr. Carragmere in his room?
So, I'm taking this cloth bag, which is reinforced with wicker, and it's sort of like a carpet bag, I suppose. And he unties it using his teeth in his hand. He unties the thing around his wrist and flexes his hand, and then he just pops. I've gone Welsh. If in doubt, go Welsh. Okay, do it thing. Anyway, he pops open the wee bag there and takes out a foldable tray and slides it open. I've done it again. He gets the lamp and it's all very practiced. His hands are very smooth, very Welsh, and he starts to light his opium pipe, and then he remembers that he has to throw open all the windows, So he goes to...
Probably put something against the bottom of the door as well, I'd imagine.
That was his first action, wasn't it? Didn't I already say that? Oh, no. Yeah, he takes the blanket from the bed.
Speaking as an accomplished opium smoker.
Put that down by the bottom of the door. Exactly. Chasing the dragon around the room. He doesn't lie down, which would be his preferred method. And he's conscious that, although he told himself exactly as you said, I've told myself that it's not a problem, this scarecrow. The thing that it brought to his mind was Robert. And it was a moment avoided that his imagination took away with it, but he thought that is Bob for a moment.
Aye.
And it's frightened him, and it's reminded him of that hole in the Sudan during the Mahdist Wars, and he's
the one with the rat.
He's taking a hit of the good stuff.
Aye.
And having had his hit, he will lie back down, and he'll wrap that sash around his wrist.
I think it's safe to say that as you're wrapping the sash, you do hear, even as your mind sort of fragments briefly, and your drifts off into the distant corners of consciousness, you do hear the footsteps, the unmistakable sort of triple footsteps of Marjorie's canes, and what sounds like Peregrine following her up the stairs to above you. But I would suggest that you're two in the hit.
Oh, very much so. And I think he manages to have a wee kind of, no, I should be with you. And then his eyes close and just drifts into
Sunshine on Leith. Yeah. He's two in it. The other two, Lady Marjorie, you just heading up the stairs?
Mm-hmm.
And Peregrine, you're following?
I'm following, and I'm sort of my hand is on the Bible, and I'm trying to think of some theological justification for what I'm doing, which feels quite immoral. So I mean, snooping around someone's house. So I'm going to do a theology roll. I don't expect you to give me anything for a success, but it's
we shall see.
We'll see. It's really, he's just looking for he's trying to find anything which will a passage which might convince him that there's a sound ethical reason for snooping around someone's house.
Yeah, totally.
And unfortunately he fails that. But he's not really thinking properly. He's got too many things on his mind. He doesn't have time to sit down and study it properly. And he sort of curses himself. Well, he doesn't curse, but he sort of he's angry with himself for not having studied as carefully as he would have liked. If only he'd studied a bit more carefully in his youth, that these passages would have gone in. But it's all too late. It's over the past 10 years he's crammed, and he's too old, really.
You get to the top of the stairs. You see a glow through the banisters from the level just below the level you're staying on, and you hear Peter's voice saying, "Oh, you're right up there."
Presumably calling up to us.
Oh, I'd imagine so. No one else answers.
I'm just going to the toilet.
Oh, there's none up that way. It's only down here, I'm afraid.
Oh, one moment then. And I keep going up the stairs.
Oh, apologies. We'll come down. And I let Lady Marjorie continue up the stairs, and I come down the stairs and head down to down the other flights to try and meet.
I'm just going to the toilet.
As
I have to get to the top of the stairs to turn round.
Yeah.
I will explain that to him.
And also, as you go to make your way down the second set of steps, Peregrine, the candlelight diminishes in front of you, and he sort of disappears back downstairs, although you can still hear him talking down there, and he sort of says, "Oh, you're coming down then? We've still got ales round here. It's only early in the night."
Oh, I think that's a good idea. I think we'll we'll all come down and have another drink, maybe a bite to eat before we turn in. As you say, it's still early. We might take the night air. Would you like me to say a prayer for the guest house? I'd be more than happy to. I have my Bible on me.
There's a pause, and then he says, "Aye, if you like."
Well, only if it doesn't offend.
'Twouldn't offend. We're all folks of God round here.
Oh, that's good to hear.
But which god?
You still can't see him. You're on the floor that you're on, and he's
Okay,
gone
I
back
see.
down to the ground floor, and Lady Marjorie's up on the second floor. So you're sort of the intermediary between them,
Yeah.
unless you want to do anything else.
Well, in that case, I'll be down shortly, and maybe say a short prayer before we partake in a few more ales.
Aye, that'd be lovely, Reverend.
I'll make sure that Lady Marjorie is okay. She's and I sort of try and lower my voice and lean over the banister and say, she gets a little confused, and also
I
she
see.
finds she's a little unsteady on the stairs, so I expect she needs to reach the top
Right.
and turn around before she can come back down again.
Oh, aye. Like a carriage. Aye.
Well, I wouldn't like to say that, but so I'll look after her. Don't you worry. You get back to what you were doing. No, don't worry about us.
Aye, and you see through the banisters this sort of glow retreat, and you catch a clip. It looks like a sort of maybe a candelabra, like sort of lit, and he sort of carries it off and he moves towards the kitchen. At that moment, could you all do me a power roll, please?
Oh God, it's not my worst skill. Oh, extreme success.
Rest of you?
Fail. An 85 on a 40.
Is this the sort of thing one can push? Or spend luck?
You can. I mean, you're still high on your hit from the opium, so whether or not you're
Push, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that would be the push.
Yeah.
That would be the push.
yeah. Well, you don't know what you're doing it for yet. To be fair,
I think we all know that pushing a roll through the use of
heroin.
illicit substances is nothing but a good idea.
Yeah.
I've also unconsciously I've only just realised that I've unconsciously created a Scottish character addicted to opium. It's
Choose fishing. Choose Robin Hood's Bay.
exactly
Choose Whitby. Choose Fudge.
a fucking big fishing rod. Yeah,
Sorry, yeah.
I like it.
So are you going to push or are you not? Okay. So, Peregrine, you see the silhouette and you see the brief candle with, like, the multiple candles on it disappear downstairs. The other two of you, Lady Marjorie, as you're sort of, like, entering into the top level, and Dr. Carragmere, as you're lying on your bed, you both just feel this incredible pull towards sleep. This incredibly powerful pull towards sleep. I think it's so powerful, in fact, that I would wager a bet, unless you want to argue, Dr. Henry, that you fall asleep in your bed. I think for Lady Helen it's slightly more problematic because, of course, she's not on the same floor as her room. But
I think Henry definitely falls asleep. Right.
yeah, I think, which isn't uncommon after taking a hit, but certainly with this wave of what he felt, it is sort of just knocks him back slightly. Lady Marjorie, you stumble at the top just as you're reaching the top of the stairs, and all you feel is this compunction you need to sleep. You won't know unless you sleep. You won't be able to analyse unless you sleep. You won't be able to.
What's immediately in front of me? Is there a bed?
There's an unlit hallway. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt here and assuming you brought a lantern up with you.
Did I?
There's certainly no lights up there. Everyone has an oil lantern by their bed, but I don't know if you picked one up before heading up. If not, all you see is a dark hallway ahead of you.
In which case, I'm gonna stumble along the wall until I find a door and hope it's a bedroom so I can lie down.
Great. You stumble along the left-hand side of the wall, and a door is there, and it gives, and you move in, and you can't really see anything. That you sort of gauge there might be a window. You're not really sure, but it seems to be sort of the same layout as your room, from what you remember. And you find a mattress in front of you, and you collapse upon it and fall asleep.
Is it on a bed or is it?
Oh, on a bed, yes. To be clear.
Oh, it's nicer up here. The air.
So, Peregrine, you're the only one who's still awake, and I think you hear Lady Marjorie sort of shuffling away on the floor above and collapsing. And I don't think you hear anything from Henry's room, but you've not heard anything from Henry's room for a while, so you might assume anyway that he's asleep.
Oh, God.
What would you like to do?
Is it now? It's now getting quite dark, it sounds like. So
I think it's only like 6 in the evening by now, if anything. That might even be a jump. But either way, although you succeeded, you did feel a wave of tiredness as you watched the candle disappear, and you...
I think I might head back into my room and pick up the lamp by my bed, given that it's suddenly got quite dark.
Yeah.
I forget that in this part of the country it does get dark quite suddenly. Especially when playing one of these games. And I light the lamp.
Listen, there's a time scale, motherfucker.
Yeah, I know. And make my way up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Saying, Lady Marjorie. You
don't hear any response.
Okay. So
is she a natural snorer, out of interest, Dom?
She's got the lungs of a rhinoceros.
So I think, okay, well, in that case, it's fair to say that when you're fully up on the landing, you do...
Well, maybe I should give a listen roll.
Yeah, give a listen roll.
Yes, I pass my listen roll by 1.
You hear the personification of sleep apnea drifting across at you from the left-hand side door.
Now, I think... I don't necessarily know that's Lady Marjorie. In fact, I would think it very unlikely to be Lady Marjorie, since 2 minutes earlier I saw her climbing up the stairs.
Yes,
so I'm not
she's up here, but you don't know that. Yeah. So that's the room on your left. And do you have a light with you?
Yeah, I got my lantern from my bed.
So you see another room to your right, and a room ahead of you. Basically, the top of the house is slightly like curved down over the sides. It's almost like converted attic space, but you see the sort of what must be the door to a mirror of your room, a floor below, ahead of you.
I think I'm going to head for that room, because that was what Lady Marjorie suggested to me that she was going in search of. So I'm going to go past the room that someone is asleep in, who I'm assuming is another guest that we didn't know was staying here.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether you want me to do a stealth roll to get past it, or whether the person asleep in that room is...
because I know who it is.
Yeah, I know.
But thank you for the option.
And I make my way to the room which is the matching room.
Yeah. And what do you do?
And I stand outside the door, and I'd like to listen outside that door.
Yeah.
I rolled 100.
Oh, God.
I think we're officially doomed from this point forward.
This feels bad.
2 of us have fallen asleep.
Well, I will bank that, and we'll see what happens. But for now, basically you listen at the door and you hear nothing. You're aware that you're now above the place where you heard the shuffling and the scratching earlier, so you thought there would be rats in the house, but you know rats, and they go silent as soon as they realise someone's nearby, so...
Yeah, well, they should do, right?
They should do.
I say, Lady Marjorie.
Nothing.
Lady Marjorie. I try the door. Is it unlocked?
It's locked.
It's locked. Okay, well, she's not in there. Fine. Confusing. So I will make my way along to the other door, which is...
Do you want to do a little listen roll as you're turning around?
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm telling you to.
I'm rolling it so badly. My listen, right, is 81. I've passed that by 3.
Right. Well, you don't hear much, but what you do hear is a repeating of the sort of shuffling, scratching from the room you just tried the handle of, as if maybe the rats have sensed you're on your way away or something, and they've started scuttling out across the floor. But either way, you hear movement within the room as you turn your back on it.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, can I do a natural world roll to see whether they do sound like rats?
Yeah, please.
That's a regular success, but I'm going to spend 1 point of luck to make it a hard success in case I can get anything else out of it.
Okay, so with your hard success, you remember talking to another reverend. I'm not sure when this would have been, maybe like, it was certainly before a Christmas inheritance. Another person in the seminary, maybe, or whatever the equivalent was, talking about going to an old lady's house who was dying. And the place was infested with, bugs and rats and all this stuff. And this guy was telling you this in a sort of quite jovial manner, like, the things we have to deal with. And they said to you, have you ever seen them? When you enter a room, the rats are heaving under the sheets. And I think you were quite taken aback, and you said, No. And he said, well, that's what I saw that day. Of course. I never checked, and I've always asked myself since, were it the rats that were heaving under the sheets, or it's someone else? And you sort of paused and then asked what he meant, and he sort of brushed it off and said, no, I'm being silly, I've had one too many ports. But that conversation comes back to you now, and you remember him saying, but was it the rats a heaving under the sheets? And you think about the noise you're hearing, and it sounds too big. It doesn't sound like unintelligent animal movements. It sounds like something bigger moving when it thinks you can't hear it. And at that point,
I'm gonna have to come and wake one of you up so someone else can help.
What's in that room?
I don't know.
what do you want to do?
I'm going to leave that room behind me with a strong feeling that I'm going to need to return to it, but I'm not quite ready to do that. I guess Marjorie must have gone back downstairs, and somehow I must have missed her. So
now you've turned around, the snoring's on your right.
Yeah.
And there's another room on your left.
So I would just like to go up to the room on my left and listen outside the door. That's a regular success.
You can hear nothing within.
I'd like to try the door handle.
It's open.
Oh. Well, I'll just crack the door open enough to see whether Marjorie's in there, basically.
Nope. It seems empty. It seems set up as the same fashion that Marjorie's room was set up, that your room was set up. Pretty spotless. Bed, little table, dresser, and that's pretty much it. No light on, oil lamp on the table, key on the table. It basically looks like every room is basically left with an unlit oil lamp and the key that, as far as
Opens every door.
Yeah, it seems to anyway.
Oh. Oh no. I have a realization.
Oh yeah.
But I'm going to go downstairs. Get some reinforcements.
Yeah.
So I creep down the stairs.
Okay.
And I'd like to go and gently knock on Henry's door.
Okie dokie. You do knock on Henry's door, and I'm afraid I'm going to say for you, Henry, that you don't respond. You're in a very deep sleep.
Okay, well,
Although I did say 10 minutes, didn't I? And it's probably been 10 minutes.
it might have been 10 minutes. Okay, no response. Fuck's sake. I'm going to go over to Marjorie's room, expecting to find her in there. Knock on her door.
You hear nothing.
Say, Lady Marjorie. I open the door.
Yeah. There's no one in there.
No, I knew that.
You see a steamer trunk, but other than that, there's no one there.
Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, well, I'm going to go back to Henry's room and knock on the door a little louder and say, Dr. Henry? Dr. Henry, are you in there? No response?
You hear nothing.
God, it would be so impolite. I don't know him very well for me to just open the door.
Having said that, we do appear to have been sent almost identical postcards
And something weird is going on.
that are forgeries.
You're in cahoots, as it were.
Oh, okay, right. I'm gonna open the door.
Okay. Assuming Henry didn't lock his door, I assume he didn't.
Well, I'll find out.
If he did, you could probably use your key anyway. But
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's a luck roll. Should I do a luck roll? Did I remember to luck the door? Did I lock the door? I did not lock the door.
Great, because I think if it was locked, I probably wouldn't open it. But if it's unlocked, I'm going to open the door and say again, Dr. Henry, are you awake?
There's a slight dragging sensation as you push it forwards, as if there's something directly behind it.
Which gives me a...
But you do persist, and the door opens quite scratchily, and you poke your head round, and you can see the shape of certainly what looks like Dr. Henry on the bed, well, unless you want to describe it yourself, mouth wide open, laying back in a fit of unconscious reverie, but certainly doesn't seem to be answering any questions.
And presumably he's surrounded by paraphernalia.
Well, are you? Did you put it away afterwards, or did you?
I mean, I failed my power check, right? So I would have thought...
He just passed out.
Yeah.
I think I passed out. And, that's embarrassing because he wants to have put it away. But I think normally... Well, put it this way. I don't want to put you into a difficult... I don't want to put you in a difficult spot. But I think in a normal situation, he would want to put it away. But I feel like this isn't normal.
No. So you see the bag half open and tabs of vials. You see the needle or the pipe?
Pipe.
It's a pipe, right?
Yeah.
Right, I thought so.
It's Oriental lamp and pipe.
But I'd also say, I mean, you're not entirely untravelled, Peregrine. You may recognise the smell as well. The lingering smell of opium.
Intelligence roll, education roll, something like that?
Yeah, let's give it that.
They're the same, so I'll go education. Extreme success on my education roll.
So as soon as you walk in, even before you see the bag of the paraphernalia, you smell opium. It smells like a Chinese opium den. I don't know if you've been to one as a character, but it smells like that. It's quite acrid, but in a musty way. It's not unpleasant necessarily from a distance, but it's quite thick within the confines of this room.
I don't know how I know this, because this, I'm a rural pastor. I work in a little rural village. I'd
maybe
never ever have been in opium.
South Gloucestershire today, the kids are getting into their opium.
Yeah, maybe. It feels unlikely. But I recognise this smell. Perhaps from scientific experiments on...
I think this is it. I think maybe it's from someone who claims that opium can be used in the same way as laudanum, as a as a painkiller.
I think it's botanical knowledge apart from anything else. Anyway, exactly. So I rush over to Henry and try and rouse him. Dr. Henry, and I give his face a gentle little slap.
I guess at this point it comes back to Dr. Henry on would it be a constitution roll?
Sounds good to me.
Or a power? Yeah, Constitution, let's say.
If you're game, I am.
Yeah, I certainly am.
Con or power?
I'd say con. We've been using power this time, but if there's someone getting involved, maybe it's Constitution.
Shame. But yeah, let's do it. Oh, 09. Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay, so you do wake up and you sort of... you come out of your reverie, you're still very bleary-eyed, and you see Peregrine sort of looming over you.
Reverend.
Dr. Henry, you've been partaking in dangerous substances. I cannot condone this.
Don't worry, Reverend. It's from the war.
Can I get you some water or something?
How long have I been out?
Barely 10 minutes, I think, but I cannot find Lady Marjorie.
Oh, Christ, no. I heard you. I think I heard you in the corridor.
Can you stand?
I don't know. Would you help me?
Of course.
Now, if I know opium, and I'm not saying I do, but I think within 10 minutes, it's an odd one waking up from it, though. And there's other things at play here, not just the opium. I'll say that much.
I got that impression.
But I will say that you feel almost invincible, if sluggish. You feel like, you know when someone wakes you up and you're just like, yeah, I can do that. You feel empowered to do everything, but slightly discontented with being awake in general. Yeah. Sort of like a lazy god. But that's where you are currently.
The trig point. We have to go to the trig point.
Well, we need to find Lady Marjorie first.
I don't think she's there. How would she have made it there on her own?
Well, exactly.
You can barely make it up the stair. Did you say she's up the stair?
No, but she did. Please, will you accompany me up the stairs? I've heard a noise in one of the rooms.
Wait, I have a flask. Throw some of the water on me.
Of course. And I splash some of the water on his face.
Could whichever of you have the lesser luck give me a luck roll?
Well, it's probably me. I've got 31.
Oh yeah, that's you.
Yes, 18.
Nice.
Okay, so you aren't interrupted. Nothing. You splash some water on his face, and you feel a bit more rejuvenated. You're still in that hazy sort of parallel dimension place, I think
I grip his shoulder and I say, less lazy but less a god.
I don't understand.
No, sorry. I think that was part of the dream. Do you think she's... What about downstairs?
Well, she can't be downstairs. I was stood on the stairs.
I mean, as in, I said I'd join them for a drink.
We can do that later. We have to find Lady Marjorie.
Do either of you have a watch?
I was going to say, I think I fumble for my pocket watch.
I think I've got a pocket watch as well.
We both. I fumble, he gets his.
Simultaneously.
He's got his.
You realise it's just coming up to 7 o'clock in the evening. It's nowhere even near what time you'd usually go to bed. And yet, all of you, even those unconscious, obviously, but even those who are conscious, it feels like it's 2 in the morning. It's like there's a fug about you.
Is this even right? I don't understand. Surely it's not. What do you have? 7:15?
I have 10 from 7, I think. No, what do you make it? For some reason I'm not reading my watch correctly. We'll compare watches. They say they have the same time. And it's around 7 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
Dr. Henry, there's strange things going on. But we must find Lady Marjorie.
Why do you keep calling me Dr. Henry? My name's Carreg Muir. Everybody at God's house calls me Dr. Carreg Muir. You're Reverend McCutcheon.
Well,
why does everybody keep calling me that?
Well, that's how you introduced yourself.
That was a joke, man.
Oh,
you said
I'm not
Reverend Peregrine, and I thought it was odd. So I said Dr. Henry. Did you take me seriously?
Yes.
Christ.
Dr. Henry, can you give me a luck roll as you're sort of getting slightly more animated?
I failed by 1.
You see the glow under the door. Let's say that. And it's very faint. Looks like it might just be at the top of the stairs. And you hear a voice saying, everything alright up here? Your ale's gone flat.
Oh, I don't mind a flat ale. That's how they serve it in Hampshire, to be honest. I'll come down now.
I think the journey took its toll.
Doctor, please, will you try and find Lady Marjorie? I'll go downstairs and try and stall them. I'll drink the ale, say a short prayer, and then I believe she's on the top floor.
Well, I'll see you down there in a moment then.
I'll be right down, thank you.
You see the glow disappear. And as the glow disappears, could you two give me another power roll?
Oh, God. I've passed mine by 2 points.
Mine is a hard success.
So, you feel fine. You feel you're both in the same fog you were. I think, Peregrine, maybe you feel slightly more tired than Henry. You feel like another wave of tiredness hit you, but you're still focused, so it's fine. Where do you want to go? You want to go downstairs?
All right. Let's stick with your plan. You go downstairs. I'll go and look for her. How many rooms are there?
There are 3 upstairs. There's someone asleep in the room on the left. The room on the right is empty, and the room dead ahead. There's a strange sound coming from there, and I fear the worst. I don't know whether.
All right, you go down.
Strange sound coming.
All right, you go down. I'll be down in a few moments. And if I say to you, if I ask the man, do you follow the cricket? Make your excuses immediately, and come back up to this room.
Of course.
But if I don't, just stick with me.
Okay, so I understood.
You open the door, and the landing is pretty much dark. You can see a faint glow from downstairs, but upstairs there's nothing. So I'm assuming you're both bringing an oil lantern with you?
I still got my lamp, and I head downstairs with my lamp.
If I stand there and watch him go, if I cover my eyes and then take them away, is there any residual light? Or is it just...
Yeah, I mean, the usual little worms and sprites that live on top of your eyeballs. But nothing,
otherwise it's pitch black.
Else.
And they're not hooded...
Pretty much.
They're not hooded guarded lanterns. I can't control the beam.
You can give me a listen roll with a bonus die, since you've been so thoroughly woken by Peregrine, and he was in such an odd state when he was upstairs.
Yes, I'll spend 1 luck and I'll make that a hard success. 2 luck and I'll make that a hard success.
Excellent. So, as you do that, Peregrine, are you making your way downstairs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume so. Henry, you hear, almost with pinpoint accuracy, it's like when you were going through those houses in Sudan, those huts, and you had to be aware of, any corner there could be some bunk of sleeper cells. You're used to keying into sounds, and you can immediately notice directly above you to your right, as you look towards the back of the house, you can hear snoring. And it sounds, sounds like anyone snoring, right? But I think with your good success, it sounds like a woman snoring.
It's
either who you're left with or someone who you're pretty sure is not in the building.
I'm going to try and sneak my way up there, which will probably take me some time, so we'll...
Excellent. So you do that whilst Peregrine, you make your way downstairs. And as you make your way downstairs, the glow of light that previously had illuminated under the door has dissipated further into the kitchen. And there is still a glow, but it's pretty dark.
Okay.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I was really just going down to keep them occupied, but maybe I'll go down and say... So I'm trying to picture the layout of the downstairs. Have I arrived in that open room which doubles as the bar?
You arrive from the stairs in the main corridor, which leads from the front door foyer, very narrow, all the way back to the kitchen. And on your left, coming down the stairs, is the sort of glazed, blurry glass and wood door into the sitting room, dining room.
I'd like to go through into there. Say,
great.
Hello.
No one interrupts you, so yeah.
Hello.
You say, there's no response at first.
And there's a bar in that room, right? Is that right?
Yeah. On the far end, you'd need to go left again, having gone through the door and walk past the tables. But it's only 10 yards. It's a very small, narrow room.
So okay, I'll come out again. I'll try the other way. The door to the kitchen, is it? Where I think there might be someone. Okay, I'll give that door a little knock and say hello.
Well, as you get close to it, you realise. Actually, it might be the door to their quarters. That's where they sleep. I see. The couple. But as you do it, you hear a voice say, "Hello." Oh,
is that?
There's someone there, Peter.
Do I recognise the voice?
It's definitely June's voice, who you met earlier, and you realise there was a glow about the door anyway. It didn't seem like they were asleep, and you hear sort of pounding steps over to you, and then the door opens, and Peter sort of says, Reverend, is that the right term?
Oh, well, yes, that'll do nicely. Reverend is fine.
You're here for your ale. It's on the bar. Oh,
that's fantastic. I was wondering if I could just take a couple of ales upstairs.
Oh, aye, yeah. Oh, no, exactly. We're room service, as they say. I've heard that from someone.
That's excellent. We're doing a jigsaw. Jigsaw puzzle. So we thought we'd just take the beers in our room, if that's all right.
Puzzles, is it?
That's right.
You detectives, are you?
Something like that.
Is that why you were checking out upstairs?
Oh no, that's poor old Lady Marjorie. She does get confused. I think she's just laid her head down for a little nap now. Hopefully she'll feel much better.
Back in her room now, is she?
Yes, she is. Yes. So I'll just take these ales upstairs now. Thank you.
Oh, aye, yeah. Pork scratchings or anything?
Oh.
Well, you can always pop down.
I will. I'll pop back down. It's it's not long since we had that delicious fish, so maybe I'll pop down half an hour and maybe you could provide us some just some bread and cheese, pork scratchings. Maybe that would do nicely as a little.
What the fuck is cheese? I'm joking. Yeah, no, we can do you some cheese.
Of course.
Yeah, no, I'll make you up a platter. Don't you worry. Sorry to bother you. We only came up. Wondered if you were still going to have a drink. We have early nights round here, so.
Oh well. Don't let me disturb you. If you want to make up a plate of food and leave it on the bar again, and then I'll just come back down for it.
Aye. Oh no, I'll bring it up to you momentarily. But yes, whatever you want, give us a shout. And he closes the door very gently.
So I will go through into the bar again. And get the two beers, which I guess are sitting going flat.
They're sat there on the counter. They're still nice.
Fine, I'll take.
They've only been there for about an hour.
I'll take them and head back up.
So you do so. And meanwhile, what were the others trying to do?
So I'm torn between spending another 4 luck to pass my stealth, or maybe to try and push it.
Well, let me help you in that as you're stealthing your way, attempting to stealth your way up the stairs, you hear this conversation start downstairs between Peregrine and Peter, which, if stealth is your aim, may just act as a cover. Like, it may mean you can just walk about to your heart's content.
Nice, perfect.
I'll be generous to that extent.
Perfect. I would have taken a bonus die, but yeah, that's great.
He's there, Peregrine's there, so he's just, Peter's assuming everyone's up. He's not necessarily looking out for anyone.
In which case,
you managed to,
I make a beeline for Lady Marjorie, well, as I believe it may be. Under Carragmuir's breath, he says, "So Jonah saw the whale." And then he takes his whiskey out and he just tries to just waft the whiskey underneath her nose, while at the same time gently patting.
So that's a constitution, I think, for Dom, who I'm afraid. Sorry, you've been out of it for so long.
Oh wow, a 001.
So not only do you wake up, but you wake up, sit up. Yeah, exactly. Henry's hand slinks back. You inhale about 3 shots of scotch on your way to sort of sat up, and shake your head, and you're like, bing! What's going on?
I immediately grab Dr. Carrigmuir by the by the shirt, and I say, "Oh, thank goodness, we haven't much time. We're looking for Robert. He's in the front room, he's at the top."
Christ.
Where am I?
You're in the other room, on the left. Are you sure? On the left, it looks like you had to lie down. It's all right. It's all right.
Come on, Henry. Make yourself useful.
Wait.
I vault out of bed.
Christ, give me my whiskey back.
And face plant on the floor.
That's single malt.
As Miriam Margulies is vaulting out of bed with a mouthful of scotch, is it fair to say no offence to the original
And the best.
And the best, the one we all love, Dan as Peregrine, you're making your way back upstairs with these pints of bitter, is that right?
Yeah, I'm just going to stick him in one of the rooms, and
as you're doing that, you hear above you this sort of clatter on the floor, and you hear this sort of noise like that.
Great. Well, I stick the pints in my room and quietly, as quietly as possible, head on up to join them.
Legend. That's what I'd do. So you do. The other two, are you leaving the room?
I'm making a beeline for that room at the end.
I think I'm so shocked.
Right.
I'm so shocked by her vitality that I've been cowed into second place on this one. I leave it over to her.
Say because of the focus of Lady Marjorie, the distance of Reverend Peregrine, and the shock of Dr. Carrigmuir, Henry, she gets the jump start on all of you, and she starts across the thing, maybe as Peregrine is coming up the stairs, if that's what you were going to do, and as Dr. Henry is sort of recognising what she's going to do, Lady Helen, Marjorie, Jamia Potts, you make a beeline for the far room, and you reach it, just as the others have you in their sight.
I try and open it, presuming it's still locked.
It is, yeah.
So I rattle the handle and go, Robert, are you in there?
And you hear, you do me a listen roll.
Yeah. In fact, I even turn, perhaps just before I hear anything, I turn to Henry and say, you see, the room is occupied, I knew it. We just got the wrong floor. That is a 22 on my 20. I'm going to spend 2 points of luck. Make it a success.
As you rattle on there, I'll say, all you hear is similar to what you'd heard when you were beneath it, this sort of scurrying, scuffling sound, this sort of shuffling, this sort of and you can't quite tell from what area it is in the room, but it does seem to be reacting to what you say. That's all you hear.
I turn back again and say, you see? You hear that? It is Robert. It is Robert.
Lady Marjorie, I don't know, it doesn't sound like him. Why wouldn't he reply? I'm serious.
He did reply.
Something's not
Listen
right
again.
here.
Robert!
Something's not right here. Can I do a psychology check on her?
Yeah.
Because she does seem to be awfully obsessed with this.
It'll be down to her to tell you what
Yeah, of course.
reveals. I find that the most interesting way to do things.
Oh, I have passed. Yeah. Not hard, just good. Solid.
I'm fixated on Robert being here. Robert must be here.
But we haven't heard any voices, have we yet? And we've only heard this shuffling sound. I think I risk it in a way that I think of the Reverend and think, well, this is exactly what he wouldn't do, so maybe I should try. I go over, abandoning stealth at this point, and I take her by the arm. I don't grab her, because I feel like she will react that badly. But I take her by the arm and I say, "Are you absolutely sure, my lady?"
I turn to him and say, well, we can settle it right now, can't we? Whoever's in there's awake. Let's just open the door.
At this point, if it's all right, I'm coming up behind you holding the key to my room, which I have realised is likely to open all the rooms.
I say, and also, if it is Robert, we already know we've been lured here on false pretenses. They must know about our connection to Robert, which means and we know they've met Robert, we know Robert stayed here. So, what if he's been taken prisoner? What if they're using him for some nefarious game? What if it is blackmail they're about? Like I said before, they may have designs on my...
By Robert.
By Robert. They've found a way, they've found leverage for each of us, and that is in the form of Robert. Perhaps they've tortured the poor boy. We have to find out. We have to know.
I think on the words "we have to know," I hear someone softly stepping behind me, and I whirl around, ready to punch that person squarely in the jaw.
Well, do you attempt to punch
Have
me?
you got a lamp with you? Because I haven't got a lamp with me, and I don't think Lady Marjorie.
Yeah, I've got a lamp.
Okay,
I've got a lamp.
okay, all right.
I've got my lamp and my key.
Okay, so there's a split second where I'm about to punch you, and then I go, "Oh, Christ, Jesus, man, don't creep up on me like that. Sorry for the swearing."
No. It's quite understandable given the circumstances.
Did they buy it downstairs?
I believe so, but we don't have long. They're making us a platter of food. Would you permit me to try the key in the lock?
Of course.
We must. And we mustn't eat the food, it'll be poisoned.
I think I naturally take a position whereby I want to sort of be ready to throw a punch, but I'll leave the Reverend with the lamp. I don't know where you are, Lady Marjorie.
Right behind the Reverend.
Classic. I feel like this is the ultimate gaslight Cthulhu montage. Not montage. Sort of. That's the snapshot moment, is it? As this door's about
the scenario
the front cover and scenario booklet. This timid Reverend. Well, not timid. That's not fair.
Unfortunately, I think everyone's left their firearms downstairs, haven't they?
Oh God, yeah.
I put the key in the lock, and I attempt to turn it.
And you turn it, and it catches, and it doesn't open.
It doesn't open.
Nope.
And I say, that's a shame. I thought the key would work. Does anyone... I never thought I'd ask this question, but does anyone know how to pick a lock?
I haven't a clue.
Well, let me have a go.
I have a wee bit of experience from watching one of the sergeants, but I mean, like maybe 1 in 10, I might manage.
Oh, that's not bad. I feel like I've got more like a 1 in 100 chance.
Right? No, I mean as in like I've got 1 in 10, but that's still not much. And I need something to do it with. Do you have anything, Lady Marjorie, in your wee bag there?
I have a small blade, a small switchblade.
Generally, it's better with something like a piece of wire or
a hairpin.
Or a brooch.
I think there's a
pin.
fair chance I might have a hairpin.
Could you keep your voice down, Lady Marjorie?
I am.
All right. Do you have anything in your bag?
Do I have a hairpin?
Sounds like a luck roll.
Sounds like a luck roll.
I mean, you probably have some on you, but it's whether you have one with you now.
In your hair. Only you know what your hairstyle is.
92.
I think it's, yeah.
58.
You're more a fan of scrunchies.
My hair's always scraped back into like an Essex facelift.
What about a tie pin? Do you have a tie pin? Let's check your tie. And I look at my tie. Any chance? Desperate.
Luck roll.
97. Have I topped you? I think I've topped you.
Yeah. Not only do you not have a type in, you don't even have a tie.
I took it off. Well, no,
I might have something. Let me check.
he starts to go downstairs.
I check to see if like, because my clothes are all sort of like handmade and sewed. There might be a pin. There might be a pin stuck in them somewhere. No, unfortunately not.
Oh, damn it!
No.
Just give me the knife there. I'll do my best.
What if either of you two particularly good mountaineers?
No.
I can climb a little.
Well, there is an alternative, of course. If we go into one of the rooms here, climb out the window, we're near the roof, climb over the slates, over the tiles, and see if you can get in through the window.
I love the way she says, if we. Can you imagine her climbing out the window and across the roof?
She's considered this. Just get a peek so that we'll know if it's Robert or not, and if he's in distress.
Could you all give me a power roll again, but I'll need a hard success.
Oh, God.
Okay, now.
Oh, God.
You hear footsteps on the step behind you.
I failed.
Is it fair to say I've got the penknife in my hand?
Yeah?
Did we get that far?
I did say, give me the knife, but maybe
Okay, fine.
maybe you didn't.
In that case, fine. That's fine.
We could roll for luck for that.
Or maybe Peregrine has it in his hand at this
I'm
moment,
reaching for
but you can see it. Yeah.
It's passing between us.
I have made a hard success.
Okay.
I failed.
I failed.
Okay. So, Peregrine and Lady Marjorie, you both, you just get this wave come over you, and you almost black out from the need to sleep. You don't quite, but your entire instinct is telling you to go to bed. Dr. Henry, you're the one who you feel this wave, you feel this thing come over you, but it's not as strong. But you notice it in your compatriots. You sort of see them sort of take a knock from this. Do you carry on with what you're doing as they sort of?
I think I grab the Reverend by the shoulder. As I take the knife, I say, "Jesus, man, something's not right here. I thought it was the opium. Are you all right?" And then I look back at her and sort of see that she's staggering against the wall or whatever she's doing. What's she doing? I don't know.
I'm sliding back. I'm sliding my way back to the room I was asleep in a moment ago.
Oh, God.
I feel awfully faint.
And those of you, Lady Marjorie and Reverend McCutcheon, who have been totally affected by this, you see when you look back towards the staircase, you see a sort of a hand waving to you as it disappears down the steps, but it seems to be flaming. It seems to have lights upon its fingertips.
No,
What?
thanks.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does, yeah.
Oh,
Do
God.
I need to do a sanity check for that?
If you'd like to, yeah. Actually, yeah. Let's say you both do, yeah.
Fucking hell, that's a big old fail.
That's a fail from me as well.
Okay, well, you all, well, both of you lose one sanity point, so it's not too bad.
Isn't it?
And does Carrickmere doesn't see this?
I don't think you see it. I think it's disappeared by the time you look around to see what they're gawping at. And all you can see is a staircase with a sort of glow diminishing beneath it. What do you want to do? You're outside this locked door on the top floor of a guest house, which you have no business being in necessarily. You're certainly above your own rooms.
I'd like to fumble for my Bible and frantically try and I feel like there's a passage about a burning hand. And frantically try and find the passage.
Great.
And oh, fuck's sake! It's one of those nights, isn't it? No, that's a fail. I can't find it. I'm too flustered and too tired. I can't find it.
Yeah.
I've become very concerned about what may be behind this door in a sort of totally irrational way.
Yeah.
And I think
Jimmy.
Well, I'm really interested to know what it is, but now that the two of you have just sort of slumped, I feel like doing this on my own, when I've felt these waves of exhaustion come over me as well. But I think for a moment I'm frozen in not knowing what to do, so I'll hand over to Lady Marjorie.
Well, Lady Marjorie and Peregrine are both feeling these waves of extreme exhaustion come over them.
So
it seems to be overriding everything.
They're basically
else
exhausted. Okay. So after the moment of freeze, I think I've got the knife in my hand. Can I look through the keyhole?
Give it a go.
I'll do that first.
So give me a spot hidden roll.
I guess it is, isn't it? It's not my best, but... Oh, it's a 09.
Oh, hello. On what? Is that an extreme success?
Oh, hang on, bad maths. 5 nines are 45. No, I could make it an extreme.
A hard is probably all you'd want.
It's a hard.
But it depends on you.
It's a hard.
So yeah, as the other two sort of crumple against the walls around you, you take your last chance to sort of look through the keyhole on this thing and see if you can just see something. And the sun has now dipped below the horizon, so there's not a huge amount of reflection to be gained. But as you sort of cup your eye to the keyhole, and you manage to make it sort of as dark as it possibly can be, it looks at a glance a bit more cluttered, a bit more like downstairs. And you can see this bed in the far corner, and whatever is under the sheets on the bed, it seems to be writhing.
Oh dear.
Writhing and sort of in this sort of odd way. And as you look, you're pretty sure there's a face on the pillow at the end of it.
Oh.
The writhing is too grotesque to be from a person, but the face looks like it's from a person. The face looks like it's... You'd like to think it looks like one of those scarecrows that you saw earlier on your way over from Whitby.
No.
But you're unsure why anyone would have to chain a scarecrow by its neck to a bed. And that's a sanity check, please.
Yes,
I
it
should
is.
expect so.
Yes, it is.
God.
The scarecrow chained to the bed.
Chained to the bed!
It's the old lucky dice coming through here, gents. This is a 02.
So you as you look at it, this is sort of perfect, because what you do is you convince yourself that whatever's happened here, they've got a scarecrow. It's chained to the bed for some reason, and there are rats just in the bedclothes eating the duck feathers.
Yes.
You know, because that's what they would be filled with in these days. You know, and that's what they're doing. That's why the bedclothes are contorting in the way they are, and you know that you're just you're imagining it. It's fine. It's fine. The face doesn't have any eyes. It can't be a real face. They've got a spare scarecrow, and they've stuck it up on this bed, and the rats have got the hay and the duck feathers. That's all you think.
In which case, I think I'll fold that wee knife up, and I'll go back to the Reverend, and I'll put it in his pocket, and I'll get what's left, my half flask of whiskey, and I'll do what I did for Lady Marjorie to him.
And as you're doing that, and as you're thinking back to Sudan, and thinking of that pit you were in, and trying to stop yourself thinking about that, because obviously that's the wrong way to think about this. That can't be what this is. You all need to give me another power check. For the Reverend, that's Uncle Fumble from earlier coming up the stairs again. You're going to need to give me an extreme success.
Oh, God.
Okay. No. Total fail.
So as you block these thoughts of Sudan from your head, and you see them writhing under these bedclothes, and you try and block those from your mind, you slip into the same unconscious that Marjorie and Reverend McCutcheon do as they slide down the walls next to you. And you all lose consciousness.